Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our WNCT Now News Update. I'm Kelsey O'Donnell inside of our WNCT Now digital studio. Governor Cooper and his Task Force COVID-19 Task Force held a media briefing this afternoon. Here's the latest update.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining today's update on COVID-19 in North Carolina. As of today, we have 25,412 confirmed cases, 708 people in the hospital, and 827 people who have died. Today is one of our state's highest days of reported deaths and hospitalizations since this crisis began. Nationwide, we've passed the grim benchmark with more than 100,000 lost to COVID-19. We continue to pray for the families left behind in the wake of this cruel virus, and we remind ourselves that these aren't just numbers, they're people who've died. In North Carolina, our case count has continued to go up. We know that one reason is because we have increased testing, which is critical to reigniting our economy and keeping people safe. We've increased our testing significantly, and the Department of Health and Human Services COVID-19 website now has an interactive tool to find a testing site in your area. As we're now 6 days into Safer at Home Phase 2, please continue to look out for each other. Show respect for those workers who are still trying to navigate this pandemic to keep their customers safe and to keep their businesses open. Be courteous to one another when you're out and about. Remember those 3 W's: wear a face covering, wash your hands, and wait 6 feet apart. Yeah, you've heard these basic safety steps a lot, but they are mighty tools that each of us has to fight this virus. Never underestimate their importance. And let's don't let our guard down.
Now, again, that was Governor Roy Cooper. Also mentioned in today's update, the state Senate voted on Thursday to let bars and nightclubs serve customers outdoors. The governor's current Phase 2 reopening plan does not allow bars to operate. We'll have more on that coming up tonight on our news at 5:30. Now, back here in the East, Pitt County Health Director John Silvernail says one of his department's healthcare providers has tested positive for COVID-19. The part-time provider was not exhibiting any symptoms, but was tested last Friday as a safety precaution. That individual remains asymptomatic and is now at home in isolation. Other health employees and patients who may have been exposed have been notified and are self-isolating at their homes. The county is canceling all in-person clinical visits until further notice. The pandemic is continuing, but organizers for the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament are still making preparations. Next month's tournament will be held with a limited number of people. Organizers will block the public from the weigh-in station, and only 25 people are allowed at the viewing section. They will use signs, a jumbotron, and security guards to remind people to stay 6 feet apart. Now stay with us. We'll be back with more news, a developing story across America just after this.
WNCT.com, your one stop for local news and weather from across the East, with special features like online originals and our live stream WNCT Now. Visit WNCT.com for details not in the newscast.
We are the strong ones, stronger together. This is a time for rising up. Being apart is bringing us closer. It's bringing out the best in us.
I hope you're staying safe, well, and healthy.
Staying inside, not seeing your friends and family, it can be hard.
Find the positives in every day.
A smile, a laugh.
We're all one community here in Eastern North Carolina.
This is something that we're gonna get through, and I know we're gonna get through this together.
And we're doing what we gotta do. Knowing love will pull us through. And we're stronger, stronger together. We rise up in our time of need. We are stronger when we have to be. We're local, strong, and stand with our community.
Yes, we are stronger together. I love that saying. If you're just now joining, my name is Kelsey O'Donnell here in our WNCT Now digital studio, providing an update in between the newscast with the most up-to-date information. Now, we are continuing to track a developing story across America. The Minnesota National Guard is responding after another night of violent clashes over the death of a black man following an arrest. Now, take a look at some of this footage right here. Images of fires burning. Others did loot stores during the demonstrations. It all stems from a Memorial Day incident. Now, video shows a police officer with his knee on George Floyd's neck for several minutes. Floyd repeatedly told officers he could not breathe. He later died. Minneapolis police commanders fired the 4 officers involved in Floyd's arrest, and the city's mayor is also calling for the officers to face criminal charges. Now, this just about wraps up our WNCT Now digital news update, but before we go, we'd like to honor a few seniors, local seniors from the class of 2020. Take a look. Congratulations to all of the graduates this year, part of the class of 2020. Now, tune in tonight in our news at 5 for the latest news content and up-to-date information on air and online. Thank you so much for tuning in to our WNCT Now digital news update. I'm Kelsey O'Donnell.